Because if you say, I'll buy one, is it like, okay, it'll show up in a couple weeks?
I think so.
Or can you get that one? That's just the demo?
That's the demo. He doesn't even have a box for it. What's he going to do? He has to show it to other people. He can't just show that. You'd think he'd carry a few in his truck, but I don't think he did.
I mean, I figure if the McDonald's company says, we'll take 8, and you happen to decide you're going to drop by, say, here's 1, the other 7 are on the way. I feel like that's nice. It's better than nothing.
Yeah, but you want one that you've shown to the rest of the world? And
why not? Who cares?
I don't know.
So he is
someone comes to your place and they're trying to sell you knives. Mm-hmm. They open up a briefcase and they start cutting shoes and cans and pineapples with the knife. And then you're like, yeah, sure, I'll buy them. And he just gives you those knives. You okay with that?
I think it would be.
All right.
I mean, the one he cut the boot with and wash it, but that's about it.
All right. Who buys you a new boot?
Well, I'm assuming he's cutting his own boot apart, not my boot.
There's a lot of assumptions.
I guess you're right.
Assumptions.
You're right.
You're right. Anyway, go ahead.
So Michael Keaton orders this burger, sits down. We see him looking around the parking lot at happy families and people sitting there eating their burgers. Specifically, one girl very sensuously eating her burger. It was kind of strange because that's not really much in the tone of the rest of the movie.
Yeah, that was the most like an ad.
Yeah,
no, they've never really done an ad where it's a girl in slow motion.
I don't think it was slow motion. I think she was just moving. She was really enjoying her bite.
Okay.
A family sits beside him. This was notable to you, Matthew.
Yeah. The family sits beside him. Right away, I'm thinking a family's not gonna sit beside just a single man sitting down eating a burger on a bench. Stay away from that man. He's unloved.
It's clearly a different era, Matthew. It's the 50s. People are more trustworthy in San Bernardino.
Their little 8-year-old girl sit right beside him, and he's watching her eat that burger. He's getting a kick out of it. He's smiling. He starts to eat his own burger, and he looks back to that girl. You can't get away with that now.
And then he meets one of the McDonald brothers.
Yeah,
they're the two brothers. I'm forgetting. John Lee Carroll? No, that was John Lee Hancock was the director. What was the name of the actor?
Drew Carey's transvestite brother.
Yeah,
is the only way I know how to say his
name. He was the husband in Fargo. He was Drew Carey's transvestite brother on the Drew Carey Show. He's a character actor that you've seen in a bunch of things.
He's usually like a schlub.
Yeah, he's usually like a lowly man.
Yeah, and I thought that was his character here too, because I assumed he was
off.
The janitor who was cleaning up in the parking lot. But even when he is the brother of this really well-off restaurant, he's still just out there scooping up dirt and wrappers.
Yeah, he takes pride in his restaurant, keeps it clean and stuff. I get that.
Yeah.
So he meets Michael Keaton meets one of the McDonald's brothers, and he's just amazed. He hands him a card. He's like, "Yeah, I'm the guy with the milkshake thing." And he's like, "Show me around this. This is amazing." And so he starts getting the tour. Nick Offerman swings by, says the French fries. Whoa, stop everything. These French fries are a little overcooked. They were a little too crispy, I believe. There was an argument about a matter of seconds of how long they were cooked.
Yeah.
Seems like a very precise man, this Nick Offerman, other brother McDonald. It was Dick and Mac.
Yes.
Now, this is something that blew my mind. This movie takes place between 1954 and 1970, I believe. Did the Big Mac not exist yet? Because at no point in the movie does anyone say Big Mac. In fact, at one point in the movie, there is a lettuce on a burger, and they're like, "The hell is this? This isn't a McDonald's burger. There's no lettuce on a McDonald's burger."
Yeah. I don't know. I guess it didn't. But maybe they made it a Big Mac after Mac died. Mac died in 71?
71.
So maybe they made a Big Mac then. The bigger question is, why didn't they make a Big Dick burger? Why does Big Mac get a burger and not Big Dick?
I mean, it does make a lot of sense now, because for years I always thought it was weird how you have like the McRib or the McNugget, but then you have like the Mac Poulet and stuff. Some of them are Macs. Why are some Mix and some Macs? Now it all makes sense.
Yeah.
Mac is a guy.
Yeah. What's his real name? What's his full name? What's Mac short for?
Maurice.
I don't buy it.
Well, that's that was in the research. Maybe it was a flawed Boston Globe article.
There's a lot of stuff in this movie that I'm not 100% on board with. Like, I still don't buy that they were the first restaurant to wrap your burger up in a
piece of paper. Yeah, see, like so the McDonald's brothers are giving a tour of the restaurant, explaining how efficient everything is, how they made everything, so efficient, and it's paper wrappers, so you can just throw it all away afterwards. And this is just, it's so weird that it is blowing Michael Keaton's mind, and it's so strange that it's all so foreign to him, and it's so normal to us.
Yeah. And in theory, it's really simple, because when you hear them tell the story, it's just 80% of our sales were burgers and fries, so we just sold burgers and fries. A lot of cost went into cutlery and plates. People would steal them. People would break them. So we get rid of the plates, something I'm not pleased about. What else did they do? They did other things. Oh, at one point, what did Dick decide to do? He wanted to move the restaurant at one point.
Yes.
And they had built a bridge or some archway where they couldn't do it, and he was just like, cut the restaurant in half and bring it in pieces. He seemed like everything seemed like such big ideas, but they were just the simplest ideas. That seems like the idea a child would have.
I guess. I mean, yeah, I guess it was weird. Like, they were explaining the history of their lives, basically, and their business attempts
to a stranger.
Offered who said, let me buy you a steak.
Yeah, showed them all the secrets of their restaurants. Yeah, cook them at this. Like, I thought Offerman,
Dick McDonald,
Big Dick McDonald, was going to get really angry at his oaf brother for bringing the stranger back there, and just was like, oh yeah, this is how we do this. We built all these. This is, these are the plans for our model and everything. I thought he was going to like get really angry at him, and instead he's just like, these French fries, like you said, need to be at this exact temperature for this exact amount of time. Michael Keaton, don't write any of this down.
Yeah.
But he's just getting all the information. He could have just built his own franchise. Not called it McDonald's.
Just call it whatever else.
Yeah. Based on the information he got just standing there.
Yeah. But no, he does not. Michael Keaton goes back home, tries to sell one more milkshake machine, and he realizes either he ain't got it or he just doesn't care anymore. Maybe he's just distracted.
Heart's not in it anymore.
That's right, because he has fallen in love with McDonald's. He goes back and yells at the guys.
Through the window.
From the parking lot.
McDonald's fever.
Yeah.
Sees a burger on the face of every child. That's just...
It's so weird. Like, they're at work, they're doing their business, and they're like, this guy again. He's in the parking lot yelling something at us.
Yeah.
And he's like, do it for your country. Yeah. It's for America.
I can't believe it worked.
So weird.
Like, well, we'll hear your pitch again.
Yeah.
You said America?
Yeah. And his pitch is basically, I was driving around. And you know what's on top of churches? Crosses. And you know what's on top of courthouses? Flags. You know what's on top of your restaurant? The golden arches. But at that point, they really weren't. They were on the sides.
Yeah.
They didn't have a big golden M arches on top of any of these buildings in this movie, which makes it not make any sense.
Yeah. And people brought, like, to me, just seeing that seemed fine. It seemed normal. It seemed like the 50s were all about that kind of style almost. But every time we showed the concept to somebody, people would be like, wait a sec, what is that?
And it was like the golden arches.
And I was like, So I just feel like they weren't really the golden arches until they became the McDonald's that we know now.
So, well, what do you mean? Like the like two golden arches on the sides of this little fast food stand weren't the McDonald's M?
Yeah, I mean, it's not a logo. Like, a cross is a logo. A flag is not really I guess a flag is a logo of like your country, but those arches were separated by a building.
Yeah.
And it wasn't the same.
I feel like they kept intentionally showing us these buildings from an angle so that you would see how these crosses, these arches turned into the M.
Ah.
But we never actually saw the M in the movie.
Nope.
I
We're
noticed
close.
at the very end of the movie, we saw the side of one.
Yeah.
Like you saw a little bit of it, and you're like, "Oh, that's what they're doing there." Okay, I see.
That was the only time we were ahead of the game.
Yeah.
We knew what was coming. Well, I guess we knew it was coming the whole time. So,
Well, to an extent,
yeah. Well, I know they succeeded.
in making McDonald's.
Yeah.
There's plenty of them. I did a little research. The Big Mac, 1967, goes nationwide in 1968. But I guess that's after most of the main part of this movie.
Yeah, I mean it's a movie about the guy who stole the idea from McDonald's and
Yeah.
and franchised it and pretty much stole. It's not really about McDonald's.
See, it's weird because he didn't really steal it. Well, clearly you feel differently because we just watched the same movie, and I feel like he didn't steal it.
I mean, if we're to jump ahead a bit, I mean he had a contract with them and he broke that contract, and the only reason he was able to do it is because he was going to tie them up in lawyer fees, and they didn't have the cost. So,
see, but
the
even
price
that
to
threat
pay.
was sort of an empty threat because he's like, I have this big, national company. You're two guys at a burger stand in the desert. I'm going to bury you in legal fees. He was strapped for cash.
yeah.
He couldn't have actually done it.
Well, I think at that point he could, because at that point that's when the other companies helped him out with land. Like he had all that land now.
Oh,
Now
he
people
did
were
at
giving
that
him
point.
money.
Yeah. Okay.
But I feel like he did steal it, didn't he? Like he didn't steal it right away,
Yeah.
but he basically stole it because he was like, "You had rules, and now I'm breaking them all,
Yeah.
and I'm taking the name and just changing it slightly,
Doing
We're
whatever I
getting
want
ahead.
with it.
But
Yeah.
if you've already seen the movie, you know what we're talking about.
Yeah. So,
What happens now?
what do you mean?
Well, they agree to the franchise to make
Yeah,
him
they-
the director of franchising.
Exactly. So it's like, Michael Keaton's job is to make more McDonald's's, and he gets a cut. And he does that for a while. He's traveling around the Midwest, meeting guys who own steakhouses. And they're like, oh boy, I own this like lovely, lovely steakhouse, but I want to run a McDonald's. I don't understand that.
I figured maybe, I don't know, maybe Patrick Wilson was that steak owner, house owner, and he's probably saying all the praise that this guy got because he got everybody was clapping. They were there to meet him because he brought all this business to the town. Maybe not all the business,
Yeah,
but he brought
even that
McDonald's
was
to the
weird.
town.
Like, they opened the first McDonald's in Minnesota.
Yeah.
And he gets out of his car and like there's cheerleaders and like the whole town is there to applaud him. Why? What's the fanfare about? Who cares that you opened a restaurant?
People were so easy to impress back then.
I guess that's it. Man,
I
the
just-
50s.
You could do anything.
I feel like,
Anything.
if you can tap dance, you could be a huge celebrity in the 50s.
You don't even have to tap dance. Just wear shiny shoes.
Oh boy, get a load of his shiny shoes.
But I just feel like Keaton's amazement
Mm-hmm.
was, I can't even picture him being that amazed at the moon landing. Can you?
I guess. No, he wouldn't be as amazed, it's true, as when he got that first McDonald's burger.
He's blown away.
Lickety split.
Yeah.
That's true. It's true. Well, mind you, it was revolutionary at that time. And I guess it's also revolutionary to put a man on the moon. But that one was like 8 years in the making. The president said, before this decade's up, we're putting a man on the moon. And then they did it. And so, you had some time to mentally prepare. He was not ready to order a burger, even though he waited in line and watched everyone right in front of him.
With
That
wide
scene
eyes.
was pretty flawed. I don't understand. Yeah.
Yeah.
How does that make any sense?
Do you think people were happier in the 50s?
Yes.
Because that woman seemed super happy. She was like, "Don't worry, you're not waiting in line at a restaurant now, and someone turns around, and
Because of shifting expectations.
yeah,
Because now we have fast food.
oh, you're right.
Back then, if food usually takes 10 minutes to 30 minutes to prepare, you're in a line of 20 people. You're thinking, I'm going to be here all day? Right?
That's true. Now if I'm in a line of that many people, I'm like, I'm gonna be here for 6 minutes. It's not worth it.
Yeah. 6 minutes. Think of all the things I could do in 6 minutes.
Yeah, they need to invent faster food.
Explain.
Wow, that's a concept. It's a work in progress. I'd say maybe they put food in your mouth before you were hungry.